Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I want to show you how to play yellow in a really simple way. If you want to learn it like the original recording, I have a lesson that goes over that, and it's pretty cool. Like, you have to tune the thinnest string down a little bit, and it makes some really beautiful shapes. Really quickly before we get started, if you haven't grabbed your copy of my free ebook, now's your chance. I'll put a link in the corner. It goes over all the fundamentals. I also have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, which you're welcome to check out. We'll talk more about that later. Like and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I really appreciate it. Now, this tune is just a 4-chord song. It uses the 4 magical chords, G, E minor, C, and D. And we're gonna do it using what I call the 2-finger trick. So we're gonna put our pinky and our ring finger on the 2 thinnest strings. My pinky is on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string. My ring finger is just above it, also on the 3rd fret. But the B string this time. And then I'm going to put my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the thickest string. That gives me a G chord. And then from here, we're going to go to D. I'm going to lift my middle and index, and then I'm going to put my index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. You'd call that a D sus4 chord, but we're going to call it D for the purposes of this tune. And then I'm going to move my index up 1 string, so it's on the 2nd fret of the D string. And my middle finger goes on the 3rd fret of the A string. That's C add 9, we're gonna call it C. So we have G, D, and then C. And it's a really easy way to do this because we can leave down 2 fingers the entire time. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And that sound where you leave those 2 fingers down, and they were all yellow, sounds like the 90s to me. And Coldplay is kind of like just after the 90s, so it still has that sound. So leaving those 2 fingers down and you just hear this the entire time really, really suits this tune. As far as getting those chord changes nice and smooth, you can always take a moment to go 1, 2, switch, switch, 1, 2, switch, switch. So you strum 2 times, and then you give yourself 2 beats to switch. 1, 2, switch, switch. And just go through the progression like that, G, D, C. And when you're ready, when you feel confident with these chord shapes, we can add some rhythm to it. And I want to use the most common strumming pattern ever. You could alternatively just go 4 downstrokes. We'll briefly talk about both of those. 4 downstrokes is obvious enough. You just count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do a downstroke on every single beat. As far as the most common strumming pattern ever is concerned, I'll slow it down. 3 and 4 and. I'm going down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And that's an amazing strumming pattern. If you only learn 1 in your entire life, make that it, and that'll carry you through pretty much everything. As far as learning it, I would break it down into 2 halves. First, I would go down, down, up, 3, 4. So a downstroke on beat 1, and then a down, up on 2, treating it like a single entity. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you find that your strumming sounds kind of abrasive, there's a few things. You can be a bit looser with the pick. Don't hold it so tight. Another thing is you just want to graze the strings, right? Like you graze them that way, and on the upstroke you change the angle. I have a lesson that kind of picks out 8 mistakes that I see a lot of people make with strumming, and we correct all of that. I'll put a link in the corner if you're interested in that. Either way, that's the first half. The second half, we go 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. So we count 1, 2, we miss the strings on beat 3. We just go down, but we miss the strings, and then up, down, up. And it's really important to say miss, because miss is happening on beat 3, which is a very important beat, and we need to feel it. It's kind of like the fence posts. If there's no fence posts, the fence will just fall over, right? So we need to be sure to count that out. And you do that a few times, just like I did, counting out loud. Then you put those 2 halves together. 1, 2, miss, up, down, 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 up, miss, up, down, up. Over and over again. Then you could switch chords, try it with the D chord. you know? And then once you've done that and you feel pretty comfortable with it, we can put our chord progression together with our strumming pattern and you're playing the song. Now, as far as the progression goes, I'm going to write it out here. We do our strumming pattern 2 times on G, 2 times on D, 2 times on C, and then 2 times on G. And that's the intro of the tune. Then for the verse, we do almost the same thing, but we cut off those last 2 measures of G. And then we do that again and we add back those 2 measures of G. This is something, like, I find it's actually pretty helpful to listen along to the original recording. I wish I could play it here on YouTube, but there's all this copyright stuff, you know, because I want to listen to it with you and like show you what I mean. And you just kind of point at the chords, you write them down just like this, and you just point at them as they happen and see if you can kind of like follow. It's a really good way to develop your ear, even if you're just getting started. You know, it'll give you a huge boost. All we have left to cover is the chorus. And we are going to play through all this together, but I just want to show you the chorus before we do that. The chorus is a little bit different. It goes, your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you'll notice 2 things there. First, we introduce the E minor chord. And secondly, we're only playing our strumming pattern on the C chord. For E minor and D, we're doing something a little bit different. So let's walk through all that. We're on the C chord, we do our strumming pattern once. And now we're going to switch to E minor. And for that, we lift up our fingers. Index goes on the 2nd fret of the A string, middle finger just underneath it. And we're going to go down, down, up. And that's just the first half of our strumming pattern. Then we switch to D, down, down, up. So I recommend taking a minute and going down, down, up, down, down, up between E minor and D just to get used to it. Then adding the C chord. Down, down, up, down, down, up. I made a mistake. Down, down, up, down, down. You know, you do that a few times till you're comfortable. And that's the chorus. You know, we do that. I'll just write out the chords here. 1, 2, 3 times, and then we just strum 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we strum our C chord on beat 1, and we count out 2 full measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's back to our usual progression. So with all that in mind, I'm going to play through this song. I'm going to go a little bit slower than the original recording. I'll have a metronome going. 80 beats per minute feels pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do. And it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turning to something beautiful. You know I love you so. You know I love you so. And that's it. You know, we just do that a few more times. That's the entire song. At the very end, it goes, look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. And it has this like different sound. And that's just playing a D minor chord. But our version with D sus4, benefits over that. So you don't have to change anything. If you'd like any extra help, please don't forget to check out my free ebook. It's free for all my subscribers, link in the corner. I also have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, which is very systematic, but it's also meant to be a ton of fun. You know, it's meant to get you playing songs right away. Instead of just, like, I don't like the style of teaching, I guess, where you learn all these things up front, learn your scales, learn all this stuff, and then one day it'll pay off. It's like, no, I want to teach you one little thing, and then we'll learn a song that uses it, so it'll pay off right away, and then just kind of go back and forth. And I find that's a way quicker way to reach your goals because it keeps you motivated. So if you're interested in that, please check that out. There's a link down below. It also includes access to my community where you can interact with other people taking the course, but also me, you know, so you can kind of have like a direct channel to me and I'll help you out. Learn guitar, you know, learn guitar once and for all. That's the name of the course. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing and I'll see you soon.